Can everybody see my screen? Just a thumbs up if you're seeing my screen. Amazing. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our second webinar. And this one, we're going to cover building omni-channel sales journeys that actually convert. And I hope everybody's having a good morning. My name is Miriam Golabgir. I am the Chief Amazement Officer of Digital Marketing Experts. I have been at this for almost 19 years, and my company helps small to medium-sized businesses build marketing strategies, come up with search engine optimization strategies, web development, and advertise their business online. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, I don't check my LinkedIn as often as I should. I do try to check periodically, but I'm best reached by email. Okay, we're gonna talk about omni-channels. So omni-channels isn't just like a really nice thing to have for your business to attract customers. Omni-channels usually are used to get customers to come into your website from multiple directions. So in the past, we would create simple, a landing page and advertise that through Google or a couple of posts on social media, and we knew how people flow through our channels. Customers don't follow neat linear paths anymore. Instead, they bounce between touch points. So they might see you on TikTok ad and then go on Google to see your products on Merchant and then sign up for an email address, ignore the first 5 emails, and then maybe they'll click on a retargeted ad on Facebook and then finally complete the purchase through an SMS coupon that they got. Confusing, right? So they've been everywhere. So that means you have to cover everything in order for you to get them at the right space. Well, that's kind of daunting if you think about it. Like, how can a brand stay in touch point so that they can have a higher engagement and a lifetime value with this individual and this user? Well, you got to also remember that omni strategies retain an average of 89% of the customers in comparison to 33% brand with weak strategies. Okay, so why do we need these omni channels? Because they bring relevance. They're giving customers the right message at the right time. They're convenient. They're letting customers to move naturally between platforms. And they're consistent. They're letting them move natural. They're ensuring every interaction reinforced between different sections, and it's continuously taking them back to your website for the experience where they can purchase what they want to purchase, and then they'll take them back to the social media pages where they can see everything that needs to be seen. So let's talk about old funnels. In the past, we would create a funnel, and that funnel usually landed on a landing page. And that meant they would come in, have an awareness, know who we are. We would add a section that had interest, where we will try to capture their interest. We would have a section for decision, where they're given a bunch of information to make a good decision. And then we would expect an action. And that action would be, hey, come buy from us, go sign up for a newsletter. That was the action. But in reality, buyers hop around based on their own timeline and also their emotions and motivations to purchase. So some might think like discovering your brand through TikTok ads is a really good idea. Some might say, no, Google is a better one because they read reviews and they check out your Instagram for feeds to validate your credibility, and then they click on retargeting ads 2 weeks later, and then they open an email 3 days later, and then finally they purchase through SMS. Okay, so modern journey is really messy and it's all over the place. And that being said, we have to have a plan that allows them to see everything strategically on all platforms. So think of it like building a network of connections and highways rather than forcing everyone to take one single road. And now shift this thought process and start thinking, okay, how am I going to build all of these roads and what am I going to track? Because at the end of the day, there's only so many hours in a day for us to create so much content in so many platforms, right? So we need to come up with a plan and do a deep dive into who's my customer and how am I going to talk to them on all of these platforms. And this is actually another really good moment for us to figure out maybe we don't need to be in everywhere. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to talk about different omni-channels, and then I will let you know which ones work best for what features, and then you pick what works for your business. All right. My favorite thing has always been emails. Emails are the oldest yet the most powerful marketing channel out there. So despite it being decades old, and I mean decades old, I was a young girl when emails came out. And I'm not young anymore. So that tells you this has been around for a while. Email deliver the highest return on your investment of any channels. So studies have shown that an average of $36 to $42 earned per $1 spent. Okay, why? Well, because it's direct, it's personal, and it's completely owned by you, not the algorithm to battle and figure out, okay, you know what, today I have to post something to do with, you know, a fire hydrant just so that I can come up higher. It's 100% you. Modern email campaigns and marketings kind of go far beyond blasting newsletters though. So you need to automate a flow. What does that mean? It means that you have to respond intelligently to customers' behavior and figure out how you're going to continuously communicate with them. Okay? Now, how do we start this flow? A flow is usually started with a welcome, the first impression, right? First impression always matters. So you want to send subscribers a curated welcome sequence that kind of builds. That's okay. There we go. Sorry, I don't know why something popped up saying that I need to record it. Give me a second. I just wanted to see if I was recording. No, we're all recording. Excellent. Okay, so you want to send out an email as a welcome flow. Okay, so when you bring someone to your website and they see it, they sign up for an email, you want to send them an email welcome sequence. And then you want to introduce your brand. You want to tell them who you are. From there, the second piece of that sequence will be if they're, you know, very happy, they've been on your website, they looked at different products, but they haven't bought. They put it in their shopping cart, but they didn't buy. It's called cart abandonment. Okay, this is when a customer leaves without purchasing. So you want to also have set up a series of emails for your cart abandonment. And this means that you're going to say, hey, how's it going? You forgot to purchase this. You left it here. The second email will be like, I see you still haven't purchased it. Is there anything I can say or do? Maybe provide you with some information about this product. And if that still has a mark, the third would be, I'm going to give you a coupon or a discount so that you will buy this. So you want to help this customer make that purchase and personalize that relationship that you're trying to build with this individual. The third set of post-purchase flows that you have to create kind of engages loyalty and thank you emails. And now they've bought something, they're very happy. We say thank you to them. We're very thankful to what they've purchased. We will provide them with product usage tips. We will provide them with, cross-sell recommendation. Hey, you bought this, bag. Maybe you want to buy the scarf to go with it. Or maybe this pair of shoes to go with it. And then the last set of emails that actually work really well are re-engagement campaigns, or we call them remarketing or re-engagement. This means that we want to win back the dormant subscribers that, they did give you some information, but You haven't spoken to them in a while, they haven't done anything, and you want to personalize incentives and values with new content to get them to come back. You can also personalize based on sources like Facebook ads and any sort of a search engine optimization visits that you got from them. The next one for me is paid advertising. So paid advertising is your on-demand traffic, traffic engine. So you get to pick who comes in. So whether you're using Meta, which is Instagram or Facebook, or Google ads or TikTok ads, or even LinkedIn ads, what you're trying to do is you want to amplify the number of people that are coming in. And this kind of helps you reach new audience quickly and at scale. Now, I always say this, and you've heard, if you've been on my presentations, you've heard this all the time. You don't have to advertise on all platforms. You have to be very strategic with where you're putting your advertising dollars based on who is your target audience, who's that perfect customer, and which platform do they visit the most. So I highly recommend, if you're selling an e-commerce, any sort of a product as an e-commerce, don't stretch your advertising dollars, because if you do and you're everywhere and you're not getting results, it's much easier to get disappointed faster. Okay, just wanted to put that as a little tick on that. Now, successful ads isn't just about clicks, it's about building connections. Okay, so you need to have a two-step strategy. So number one, you want to start with an awareness campaigns. This is where you launch broad, you do interest targeting, you kind of go after, let's say you're selling gum. You want to go after people that are interested in gum, you know, freshness and like freshness, you know, they like mint flavor as an example. They're looking for sugar-free gum. So these are based on interest that you want to create. And then what you want to do is you want to come up with brand stories, okay? And you want to do founder messages. So Miriam, as the CEO of this gum company, can give a message and then do some sort of a problem solving. If bad breath, this gum is the greatest. It will keep your breath fresh for hours. And then you want to do kind of videos about this problem solving that you're creating. People, you know, getting closer when they talk to each other while they're chewing this gum. These ads, they're telling a story and they're creating awareness towards your product. The second thing you want to do is you want to target with dynamic content. So what does that mean? It means someone engages with this gum ad that you've created, with this video that you created, you want to keep retargeting to them. Now you want to show them testimonial videos. Then you want to show them, you know, product demos. Then you want to send them to put an email, show them an email that they forgot to put it in the cart. Then you want to show them success stories. So these are retargeting, because they've already seen your ad, and now you want to reset them and resend them more ads so that it solidifies in their heads and they want to finalize this purchase. So dynamic product ads are also very powerful. These are show shoppers that buy the exact same product or behind the scenes. So behind the scenes do really well as far as ads are concerned. Another core channel that works really well is search engine optimization and content marketing. I'm working on a project right now, and we just came up with 10 episodes for their podcast. And then we're going to turn all of those episodes into blog posts, and then we're going to take all those episodes, turn them into videos as the podcast is going. So we are kind of repurposing this podcast, but then we're kind of diversifying it on multiple platforms as well. So paid ads do really well and they deliver immediate traffic, but SEO, search engine optimization, builds sustainable, evergreen inbound pipelines, which means that they're here to give you that life for longer than that, you know, that ad traffic that brought in maybe 10 minutes of customers. Search engine optimization is absolutely vital. You want to come up and have ranking for buyer intent keywords. What does that mean? If I'm selling a gum, I want to come up for keywords that will help my buyer and give my buyer intent to make that purchase. Okay, that keyword could be, mint fresh gum, sugar-free gum, anything that, anything that would help that individual to buy that product. All right. Now, why do we care about SEO? Well, because when you create a high value blog post with really good keywords, let's say you're writing a keywords about skincare and ingredients that has to do for acne prone skin. What you're doing is that you're providing another set of pages to your website or your landing page with really good keywords where people can click and come to you. And okay. You also want to do retarget blog readers. You want to create enough content that, and it's relevant content, whether it's to products or services, so people can actually read it and share it and then come back. Another way to create retarget blogs is by creating emails that trigger that flow when they come in and they read that email. Sorry, they look at the email, they read it, they click on it, it goes back to the same blog that you had created. And you want to tailor offers or further content regarding that particular topic, because that topic is going to have the buyer intent keyword into it. Okay, and then make sure when you create these blogs that they have those particular keywords in there. Now, one of the things that I highly recommend is if you're creating any sort of blog topic, see if you can match what your testimonials are giving you. Testimonials are people telling you what their thoughts about your business is, right? If someone's saying, I love their services and they're fantastic when it comes to, resetting my mortgage or recreating, or helping me get a brand new mortgage, my first time mortgage, they're telling you this is the service that you're doing really well. So maybe create a blog about that product that you're much more stronger in, which is your first time mortgage service that you're providing, and then write a blog about that. Then do an email blast regarding this particular blog to retarget back to people. And you want to make sure that it's not just the blog that you're creating. Do product comparison, do testimonials. Make sure that if someone's giving you a testimonial, use that testimonial. Ask them if they can type it for you, put it, and then you take that content and add it to your website. These are really good search engine optimization tools. You can create multiple landing pages for multiple blogs or multiple testimonials you get. Do case studies. If you have happy customers and you've done a really good job and they're very happy with you, write the case study. You also want to kind of mix this into your paid ads. So instead of doing a paid ads about a service, maybe do a paid ads about a blog that has to do with this product that people are saying, or the service that the people are saying that you're really good at. By the way, this presentation will be emailed to everybody in case if you need it. And I'd be more than happy to provide you with all of my footnotes as well. Okay, let's talk about social media. Everybody loves social media. I'm not a big fan of social media, but I think social media works very well. It's a fantastic tool. It's great for building communities. It works really, really well. So take full advantage of it. Be very strategic. How do you get into it? And it's not just about the likes. It's about the conversations. It's a conversation engine that can be used strategically. And your goal on social media shouldn't be that you broadcast promotions. It should be that you spark a conversation and you build connections and you guide followers through actions. If you're using Instagram, put a good Instagram story together, or even on a story on TikTok, or even add your content on Facebook groups, and then add LinkedIn posts and build that real engagement around your content. Use micro call to actions. So instead of saying shop here, you can say DM me for a size guide, or tap on the link in the bio for a freebie, or vote in our poll to get a coupon. These are called micro call to actions, and they work really well. You also want to turn viral organic content into paid ads. So if you have a really good content that did very well for you on social media, build an ad around it. Now, that doesn't mean go on Facebook and boost it. That boost for some strange reason doesn't work as well as running an ad around it, okay? So take advantage, run a good ad around that organic content and capitalize on that, the power that this particular content has for you. Now, another thing that I wanted to suggest is that on Facebook and Instagram, if you're using Meta Ad Manager, I highly recommend looking at your data and your traffic report to see what you did well. And if it didn't work well, why didn't it work well? The reporting that you get is pretty impressive. Same with LinkedIn ads and TikTok ads. They do provide really good analytics, and I highly recommend you taking a look at it and making sure that this kind of works with what your objectives and who you're targeting is. On all of these platforms, I highly recommend creating your audience. Create your audience so that you know on your LinkedIn, who am I targeting? Because that changes the language that you use. That changes the style of content that you use as well. Okay, let's talk about SMS. Now, one of the good things about SMS is that with emails, we have to follow castle laws, which means that someone has to subscribe to your content and your channel in order for you to be able to send them an email and not get in trouble. Also, there is this feature where people can unsubscribe very easily. Now, SMS is a little different. There's not a lot of laws surrounding you sending SMS, but that means you have to actually collect SMS, telephone numbers, in order to be able to send SMS out. And I think being responsible with how you send out an email and kind of following that castle law that emails have on your SMS is good business practice. Because if you're asking me, is it okay for me to send you an SMS, and I give you that permission, I'm kind of in my head waiting for that SMS from you. So I'm more likely to interact with that SMS than if I wasn't expecting it, and now you're flooding my text messages with promotions that I didn't even want or care. It's underutilized and it has a lot of potential. So customers are basically glued to their phone. I have 2 phones sitting in front of me at all times, and I'm glued to both, and they both have different numbers, and I check both continuously. So if you send me an SMS, the average open rate for me would be 98%. And I am one of hundreds of thousands of people that would open up, okay? So if the average open rate is 98%, just think about how powerful of a tool this is, right? Now, here's the catch. If you misuse it, and if you don't ask for permission, unlike emails, SMS doesn't allow for fluff. So, and it doesn't allow you to mess up. If once they block you, you're gone. You can't send them anything. Also, you can't send them long message about every little thing that you want to sell. You got 160 characters to make it punchy and valuable and get it going. So you want to have flash sales or limited time offer, or create an urgency with a time sensitive discount. That would work really well. You want to do reward VIP customers with access to exclusive perks through their SMS only. Shipping and order updates are huge. If you do use Shopify for your e-commerce, you can build your shipping and order updates through this program called Wizmo, and then have it set up where they can see it right away. You want to use behavioral triggers to make your SMS feel timely and not spammy, okay? So you want to put words like, did you forget something in the message? If they've left something on the cart and they've left that cart abandoned, you want to also say offer surprise 10% for anybody who finalize this purchase through their abandoned shopping cart. That way you can get them to come back and buy right away. And that's the behavior that you're trying to target. Okay, here we go. So, power of integration. So all of these channels are wonderful, every single one of them. But the real magic happens when you integrate every single one with each other. And the reason for that is because they expect me as a customer, I expect consistency and a flow, okay? If I see your ad and then I end up on the landing page and then I get an email series that says, hey, welcome, what can I get for you? Can I give you a 60% discount or a 20% discount? And then I get an SMS reminder, I'm more likely to stick around. So let's walk through a few omni-channel flows that I would recommend. So when a customer sees your ad, you want to click through to the landing, you want them to click from there to a landing page and then lead them to a quiz, okay? So once they fill in the quiz, give them a coupon. Once they get that coupon and they click, they have to put their email address to get that coupon. They get the coupon, let's say it's 20% discount. They have 24 hours to convert and use that coupon for their next purchase. If they do it, fantastic. If they don't, send them an SMS nudge in 24 hours and say, hey, or sorry, in 12 hours and say, hey, you got 12 hours left to make this coupon worthy and use it. And then once they do, you want to send them to your Instagram so they can see any other upsell ad that they can that is available to them. And then when they do purchase, you want to send them a post thank you per email saying, thank you so much for purchasing this. I'm very happy with your with having you as my customer. And here are 5 discounts that you can get moving forward for whatever service and system that you want to use. And continuously keep them in the loop and talk to them, okay? If you don't have a particular system to use, you can use Klaviyo, or you can also use ActiveCampaign for your emails that you send out, and they do really well. So let's talk about some of the tools you guys can use. Okay, so I have categorized these tools based on emails and SMS automation. And then the next is cross-platform workflow, and then tracking, and then e-commerce, and then I put the CRM integration after. So let's talk about the first one. So first one is Klaviyo. It's a really powerful tool. You can use it for emails. Same with ActiveCampaign. They're wonderful for tools for emails, and you can build a really good, robust segmentation and email breakdown with them, with all of them. The next one is Zapier and Make.com. Both have no-code tools, which means that you can set up triggered automated actions. They both are very good with integrating to Meta and Google Analytics. Now for Meta, you have to use pixels. So Facebook Meta will give you a pixel, and then you can add that to your website and you can figure out where the customers are going and what they're doing. Same with GA4, Google Analytics. Again, it connects with your website, and then you can see the traffic that comes in and out of the website and how well they do. For e-commerce, everybody uses Shopify, WooCommerce, or BigCommerce. BigCommerce are for products that Shopify doesn't allow you to sell For example, if you are in whatever service you are that you can sell it through Shopify, you can use BigCommerce to sell it. And then there's the CRMs. And I always tell people you need to have a good CRM. Once you have a good CRM, you can, track and create pipelines for your existing customer and for your potential customers. So you want to manage your customer relationship either through Zoho, Salesforce, or HubSpot. All of these tools are wonderful. PostScript and Attentive are fantastic tools for SMS, and every single one cohesively will work together. Okay, let's talk about a case study. This is a real life example of a channel. So there's the company is called DTS. It's a fast-growing DTS brand that sells skincare, and they were struggling with stagnant conversion rate. They had the traffic, but they couldn't convert that into sales. So we helped them design Facebook ads and put people through a quiz funnel to personalize product discovery. This is a really big one we kind of followed what El Maquillage does. And then the quiz completion sent this person, the customer, an email welcoming them to a series of product recommendation. And then we unconverted users, which means we sent them an SMS reminder offering 10% for their next purchase. And then once they became purchases, we provided them with a post-purchase flow with upsell, kind of offering them skincare tips that could use for their skin. And then we kept re-engaging them and retargeting them with ads on Meta, on Instagram, bit of on Facebook, and ton of ads on Google. And then each step we kept reinforcing the last, and we kept trying to get them to come back into this progressive journey. And within 6 months, we increased their conversion rate by 32%. Email open rate was jumped to 45%. SMS drove 17% in total, drove sales in 70% in total. And then the customer's lifetime value doubled due to loyalty flow and product education. Okay, let's talk about a couple of mistakes that happened often. Okay, so you don't want to you want to avoid creating siloed channels. This is when you're running email ads and social media separately, okay? Because data is lost and it's very inconsistent messaging, and you always integrate platform to share data and behavior. So you want to make sure that it all cohesively work with each other. You don't want to over message people either. Just because you have email and SMS doesn't mean that you should send them both daily, okay? Over messaging means that the customer is fatigued and they will unsubscribe and even put you in a block and spam folders. You also want to not ignore mobile first experience. And this is when you look at a landing page or even an email blast, and then you notice, the person has to either squish or expand using their fingers, or that it's not responsive. And you're losing half of your audience because mobile first is the way to go, and everybody's on their mobile device first. So make sure it's table stacked and it looks good. You want to make sure to add in behavioral triggers. Okay, if you're not using browse abandonment or quiz logic or post-click segmentation, you're missing out on personalized opportunity. What does that mean? That means if you're doing a quiz, you're basically segmenting this user into that particular customer that you want them to be for you. And if you're not doing that, you're not understanding who this customer is and what their needs and wants are. Building a quiz is quite simple, especially if you're selling a product and you have Shopify. There are tools and plugins you can use. Same with WooCommerce or even BigCommerce. They all now have all the tools that you need to create those post-click segmentation for you. You want to audit your journey. What does that mean? You want to look at how people go through your website. When you figure out how they go through your website and how they go through your omni-channels, then you know how you're going to improve it and how to fix bottlenecks and what are the improvements you're going to need to do as as time goes by for these particular platforms. All right. Let's talk about quick wins for this month. Okay, what are we gonna do? Here are a few things that I want to recommend you guys start to do just this month. Okay, what we want to do is we want to add in SMS follow-up to your email follows. We want to start collecting SMS. See if you can start collecting telephone numbers. And once you do that, come up with short messages and test to a very small audience group. If you're collecting 200 SMS, don't send it to all of them. Send it to 5. Because I want you to test and see what sort of a response you're going to get. If you're selling a product online and you're testing your SMS, send a message to 5 and say, here is how you're going to check your shipment and your track your orders. And then see how the response is. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to sync your Facebook ads with segmenting your emails. So if you're using Klaviyo or ActiveCampaign or even MailChimp, whatever email tool you use, I want you to create a custom target audience based on email behaviors and then retarget them on Facebook ads. And I want you to figure out who is clicking and who isn't converting. And it's an easy thing to do. I'm going to send you this presentation. It's going to have the notes. You're going to try to figure out how to do this. And if you can't figure it out, you're going to message me. We're going to figure it out together. Another thing I want you to do is I want you to use UTM codes. What's a UTM code? UTM codes are tracking codes. And they kind of tell us who is coming from this particular tracking code that I've created. So you want to stop guessing, okay, well, they came from, maybe it was the ads. No, it was the emails. I want you to stop that. I want you to create a UTM code for everything. If you're sending an email, create a track ad to email, and you want to have a particular UTM for that ad, for that email, so that you can say, hey, yeah, I know where they came from. They came from this particular email that I set up. I also want you to start and create a start here journey across all of your channels. So how do we do this? We create new subscribers, send a welcome email, follow it up with a retargeting ad, and then drop an SMS tip to them, and then invite them to direct message for a personalized recommendation. Did you guys get it? I'm going to repeat it again. We're going to create a start here journey. We're going to get the new subscribers, get their email address. We're going to send them a welcome email. We're going to follow up with a retargeting ad. And then we're going to drop an SMS tip to them because we're going to collect their phone numbers. And then we're going to invite them to direct message you on social media for a personalized recommendation. Now, that could be anything that you want to do. So all of these are supposed to cohesively help boost your engagement and deliver better customer experience. And also it helps you understand and test what works and what doesn't work. And that's the piece that we want to figure out. We want to figure out which one of these omni-channels will work for you. If SMS is out of a question for you, okay, then at least we tested it and now we know it's not. And if email is working well, how do we boost that email to the furthest that we can get out of it? All right, so omni-channel marketing isn't about being everywhere. And I said at the beginning, you've got to figure out where your customers are. And when you figure out where your customers are, you want to create that right message at the right moment. What are your plans to increase consistency across all platforms, to create context-aware messaging? And then we want to do seamless handoff between channels, okay? We want to make sure that the brand that we have is winning based of it being smarter, not being louder. Okay, we want to understand the journey between our customers and our site and our, channels, different channels. And we want to make sure that the strategy that we're putting in place is we're able to customize it and personalize it for different customers that we have, and continuously do that throughout our business as we go. Now, I'm going to open the floor to anybody that has any questions. And feel free to put it in chat or unmute yourself and ask questions.
Do you mind if I ask a question about your slide on tools?
Okay.
So you had one column that was CRMs, and a lot of CRMs have email functionality in them. So I was curious why in column 1 and 2 you had email tools and then triggered automated actions in column 2. Is it that the functionality is that much more sophisticated in a specific email marketing technology solution, and the automation is there and the CRMs just don't have it?
So depending on the CRM that you're using, majority of the emails that you will collect. So again, I'm coming from a place of using 2 different CRMs, not all of those. I think they're all great, but I've only used 2 of them. Now, depending on the CRM system that you're using, you are now communicating with the people that are within your system. If I have to integrate a platform into my website to collect email addresses where it seamlessly goes into my CRM, Klaviyo and ActiveCampaign for Shopify, even MailChimp are fantastic tools. They're easy to embed and easy to use on any sort of a website platform. Now, if I choose whatever website platform so what happens is when I collect that information, I can integrate 3 of those CRMs or two of those CRMs based on my knowledge, not the overall knowledge, into that website, and not the rest, because I don't personally know how to do that. But when I'm using Klaviyo, because Klaviyo has shown me that it's able to create series of emails, create email flows, easy integration to Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, I would recommend them over a CRM. But it's just a preference thing, not necessarily whether it would work or it has a better option or not.
Right. Okay.
And all CRMs are fine. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just, some. And I personally think HubSpot, the integration that it has is fantastic and it does really well. Zoho is cheaper, and again, you can get a rep, and they will allow you to integrate into Shopify or any of the products. Mason, as for the startup company, which technically still doesn't have any customers, the sequence would still be like what you mentioned: email, Google Page, SEO. Okay, that's a very good question, Mason. If you don't have emails to send out or SMS, you don't use it, right? So what we have to do is we have to figure out who is this persona you're connecting with. So if, let's say, you're going after me and I am the persona you're going after, you have to create your ads and your content and search engine optimization to speak to me. So I would say the sequence would be optimizing your content, creating really good content, creating social media ads, posting on social media, creating social media ads, paid ads through Google, and then start collecting emails and SMS to grow. So I think that email and SMS would be priority number 2.
Do you, continuing that, Miriam, do you ever use or recommend purchasing email lists?
Absolutely not. It's the worst decision.
Okay. Because
nobody knows you. See, a lot of the emails that are being purchased are, the person hasn't consented to give you that email. So when you purchase it and you're messaging them, the chances of you falling into their spam box is 99.99%. And let's say you have that 0.0001% that they're going to connect with you. You just spent thousands of dollars on an email list that didn't really work. And one thing that I think works really well and has worked for me in the past 12 years of my business is that I had a really big network on LinkedIn, and I just kept growing that network, and I asked them if I can send them emails. And now, 12 years later, I have an organic list of 1,900 people that I have been connecting over the past 12 years. And not that I don't get unsubscribed, I get 1 or 2 unsubscribes a month, which is fine, but I keep getting more people. So hosting these webinars is another way for me to connect with people that are interested in hearing what I have to say. So short answer, don't buy a list, build these connections. Long answer, bad idea. They're gonna be a waste of your money. You mentioned persona for different platforms. Is this just about going where your customers are? Okay, very good question. Okay, we build personas based on people that purchase our products. So that one persona, let's say if I am your potential client, you would know me based on my age group, my income level, my desires and needs to buy certain products and services, or my absolute need to buy certain products and services. So you create this target audience and you say, okay, well, this persona, Miriam, she's 40 to 45. She is a woman. She has X amount of dollars a month to spend, and she likes to purchase clothing. And I'm selling clothing, so I want this particular person. Let's call her Miriam, and we know that she lives in King City in Toronto, and she's going to be purchasing products from me. That persona, Miriam, between 40 to 44, she will be going on different social media platforms, or will be shopping on Google, or will open her email. That's what I meant by different platforms. So if Miriam will not be on Facebook or she might be on Facebook. Actually, if she's 40 to 44, she will be on Facebook. But if she was younger, she will not be on Facebook. She will be on Instagram. But Miriam is also on Google. Now, because Miriam is a shopper, you do not target her on LinkedIn. You do target her on Google and Facebook. You will not find her on TikTok because she doesn't have a TikTok. So that's what I meant by looking for your persona on different platforms. Did that answer your question? Amazing. All right. Any other questions? Oh, this was really good. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Oh, here we go. You mentioned segmentation. Segmentation, in what sense? So segmentation is when you segment people based on their purchase patterns or behavior, or the way they interacted with your website or with your social media. So segmentation is, I'm going to put Miriam, Nancy, and Bob in 3 different segments because they've interacted differently with my website. They are different buyers, and they experience shopping in a different way. Okay, that's what it means. I mean, that's what I'm presuming that's what you meant.
Okay, so sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my question is that if I've got like different personas and I need to speak to each one in a different way, so that's what I'm kind of trying to think how to do that.
Okay, that's a really good question. Yes, you have different audience. You do have to change your language for each one of these audiences. So you do need to change your offering. You do need to change your incentives that you're giving. You do need to change the language when you speak to them. However, we also have to figure out what your brand message is to create that consistency. So that doesn't necessarily means that we have to change your language, your brand language. Let's say, for example, you sell gum. Gum is gum. You're selling gum. The difference is why would Miriam want to buy this gum from you? There's certain features that will stay consistent with the gum. It's that one moment where Miriam's going on a date, or if Miriam's meeting with a customer or with her children's teacher, that she will need to have a fresh breath. That's where you change the language. But the features and the explanations that you have to provide for this gum is consistent. So we don't have to change that piece for the segment to create that segmentation. But it's that moment where Miriam's behavior changes, whether she goes on a date or goes to meet with a teacher, that it changes. Amazing. I'm so happy you guys stuck around and listened to this. I am going to send this out to everybody, this presentation. I will put it on our website as well, so feel free to go on digitalmarketingexperts.ca and download everything. You're more than welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys can make our next webinar, and I will send out an email about that as well. Have yourself a wonderful day, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Anytime. Bye.